Hi, my name is Cody Darkstalker, and welcome to my Let's Play of Seduce Me, which is a visual novel style game. It's a dating sim. Otome, is that how you pronounce it? Otome? Otome? I think it's Otome, right? Whatever. I'm gonna get me a boyfriend in this game, apparently. It's gonna be very sexual. I am looking forward to it. Um, Dating sims are a weird thing for me because I was really into them when I was younger. I used to play a bunch of really, I hate to say that they were crappy, but they were crappy ones on DeviantArt. Yeah, that was my life. And I used to play some of the dirty ones that were on Newgrounds. But of course, all of those, like, you had to seduce women. And while I do love the ladies, I'm sort of looking forward to getting me a husbando, or whatever it is the kids are calling it these days. So yeah, let's start a new game. This is a fictional interactive narrative. Any character resemblance to real life people are purely coincidental. It's okay. I don't think people are really thinking this is that close to real life. It's made for PG-16 audience. Children, are you watching? Are you watching, children? I'm older than 16, so it's not a problem for me. There's going to be sexual and violent themes. Trigger warning. Oh my god, that's a lot of triggers. Abuse, implied rape, and suicide. Since the game is doing this, I'm going to go ahead and say that if this is a problem for you, please don't watch this and have, like, any stress because of this stupid game. Not the game is stupid, that's rude. But whatever, like, if these are things that are going to bother you, feel free to not watch. And we're going to get started. We're going to have a good time,
Why,
despite the violence
hello.
and rape.
My, aren't you a gorgeous sight? Can I be honored enough to know your name?
Oh, this is some sexy voice acting. Micah. Do I want to stay Micah? No. Micah, fun fact, was my class name when I took German for like 2 weeks in high school. I ended up switching into French, which I liked more, but
A
that was my
lovely
name.
name for a lovely person like you. Wonderful.
This voice is so sexual.
Eric, do your job.
Very well. This game was produced by Seraphim Entertainment under the direction of Michaela Laws and is powered by Renpai.
Eric.
Fine.
Sexy voices are arguing now. Oof. This is too much for me. Somewhere. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Come on! Is that all you got?
Wanna try me, asshole?
There's trees and violence. I hear ultra violence.
Missed.
Oh
Let's
no. I
retreat for now.
think that was a gun.
Kidding. Let's get out of here.
That's
Oh man.
right. You better run, you stupid punks. Stay out of our territory.
Alright. Call it fate or call it coincidence. That one moment of violence started a chain of events I will never forget.
This formula, created in the 70s, is one of the most important in the field of financial theory.
I don't know shit about financial theory. Am I in class right now? I didn't do the homework. I'm
It
screwed.
is used to calculate the price of European-style options and is widely used by option marketers.
Very money.
Though there are some
Rain. It's been a long time since we've gotten rain around here. But it is the season for rainy weather, so it's not exactly that surprising. Was that me? Okay, I'm digging it. Black hair, green eyes. That's I'm feeling it. If I maybe didn't do the dye job, I could look like that maybe. Only less anime. Personally, I loved the sound of it. The way the raindrops fell, like the soft tapping of fingers. It was so soothing. Even looking at the droplets hit the glass of the window was strangely calming. I like rain too. Who doesn't like rain? Garbage people don't like rain. For this reason, I felt lucky for having a seat next to the window, though I did spend more time staring outside than I did paying attention in class. Man, I would too if it was financial theory that I was taking. The lectures in class were pretty boring. Mrs. Phillips' voice wasn't soporific. I think that's how I pronounce that one. God, I hate... This is like reading out loud in junior high all over again. But I just wasn't interested in what she was saying. And since it was the period right before lunch, all I could think about was doing other things in my free time. Oh, is she in a uniform? Is this a high school? I thought we were older than this. Honestly, I didn't really care much for economics. Sure, I'd gotten good grades in this class, but it was only because I read the textbook and did my assignments as I had to. Well, duh, that's what everyone should do. Do your homework. I was only taking this class because it was mandatory. If it were up to me, I would probably have taken another course. Luckily, it was my senior year, so after this semester, it would mean the end of high school courses forever. Thank God for that. Seriously, high school, the worst. But I did not have to take econ. I did have to take math. And it wasn't even like regular math, because I went to one of those schools where they did like math 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, X, Y, Z on A days and B days, or even days and odd days. It was a mess. I didn't hate high school. It was just kind of mundane how the days drifted on as if there were no end to it. My high school life was a little bit more eventful than that. The only thing I really enjoyed about going to school was meeting my friends and hanging out with them. But that was kind of it. I mean, that's like every high schooler. I don't know, actually, not me. I was a nerd. That's it. Now you know my secret internet. I was a nerd. I took all the AP classes, and I took extra courses, and I spent my lunches working in the school's library so I could avoid talking to other humans. Oh, it's so sad. In short, I was done with high school. The start of second semester brought a note of finality to it. I had already applied to many universities the semester prior, and I was expecting replies sometime in the next few months. It seemed like the start of something new, something that would change. That is, if things could change. I stared at the faint outline of raindrops in the distance. For now, I was stuck in this class. My voice acting skills are pretty awesome. Oh, her face is so much less detailed than yours. Mrs. Phillips' raised voice interrupted my train of thought. Just when I was thinking about class, I quickly turned my head to face the teacher. Hopefully she didn't pick me just because she noticed that I was spacing out. That's what teachers always do. Teachers hate you. Yes, ma'am?
Would you care to name the equation I set up on the blackboard?
Oh, I think I read about that in the textbook last night. It should be the Black-Scholes model formula. Sure. I don't know what that is. I can barely use my debit card correctly. That's how much financial theory I know.
Very good as always, Miss Anderson.
Thank you. Ms. I've never had a teacher call me Ms. anything, so this is fun. Anderson. It followed me wherever I went. Most people didn't really know my first name, but rather by my surname. Good job, game, getting around that. We want to use your name, but we don't know what your name is, so we're just going to give you a last name. They do that in Dragon Age, so, I can't fault you. No doubt since the surname was the trademark of the internationally famous and philanthropic Anderson Family Toys, and because the founder was my own grandfather. Rich grandparents are the best. They buy you stuff and take you cool places. Suzu, one of my best friends, turned around and proudly gave me a punch to the shoulder.
Kick ass, girl.
Yeah! Wait, so I'm wearing this, and that's what she gets to wear. So clearly it's not a uniform, and I'm just a nerd. My little string tie. So cute. From beside me, I heard Naomi, another one of my friends. Oh god, I accidentally hit a button. Well, that's the save screen, folks. From behind me, I heard Naomi, another one of my best friends, clearing her throat in obvious disapproval of Suzu's choice of words. What kind of name is Suzu?
Means good job.
Ah! You have a bow here, a bow there. You got a lot of bows, Missy. You're the prissy one in this group. That's fine. I respect that.
Miss Capini.
Capini.
Oi.
Oi. So that would have been me in high school. Obnoxious and loud. Not very
Care
feminine.
to tell me who the creators of this formula were?
Some guys named Black and Shoals. Fisher Black and Myron Shoals.
Very good, Miss Patterson.
Oh.
Show off. Better study next time, Suzu. Be like us and study once in a while.
That's cold. That's your friend. Or is it that they're friends with me, but they're not friends with each other? Susan rolled her eyes and slouched into her chair as Nomi gave her a small smirk. She always pouted when Nomi showed her up. Is it Nomi or Naomi? I think it's Naomi.
That's the end of today's lecture. Now, let's separate into groups and work on your projects. Remember, everything is due on Monday. Go ahead now.
Okay. Let's do the school. Oh, the old Schulhaus. Before I knew it, Susie and Naomi had scooted their desks to a line with mine, and we turned to Three Musketeers. Really? Really? Three Musketeers? I see no swords. Whenever the teacher let the students decide on groups, we always group together in our little trio. Isn't that what, every group of kids does, though, in school? Everyone has their, hey, we're gonna work together, right? And then, there's always a time where it's no, it's only two of you, and you have a group of 3 friends. And it's no, I'm all alone. And you have to, work with that kid that no one else wants to work with. That's the worst. Unless you're that kid that no one wants to work with, in which case, what's wrong with you? What's wrong? It was a sheer stroke of luck that we all managed to be in the same class, so we had to at least take the opportunity and stick together as much as we could. Oh yes, very serious stuff. Math. Besides, we were most comfortable around each other than, say, compared to being around any other classmate. Oh, yes. It just made sense for us to put our heads together for any kind of project. Okay, we get it. I took out the posters we were working on and rolled it open onto 3 desks. We were pretty much finished with fulfilling most of the guidelines for the project, though we did still have to add a few finishing touches here and there. After working on making the poster a bit prettier, we sat back and inspected our work to see what we still had to do. Naomi, as usual, was the first to look for any issues. She lightly tapped a pencil against her chin, staring intently at the project.
So let's see. We finished the budgeting section, the building leasing, and the cost for labor. What else do we need?
I don't know. What are we doing? Susan straightened up to look at the poster and stroked her chin. After a few seconds, her face brightened and she spoke
How
up.
about a company name?
Oh, we're building something as a fake company? I remember these sorts of projects.
Did we really skip over that?
Your face. Your stupid face. Because you're dumb and you forgot something.
You always go straight into the logical statistics and stuff that you completely skip over the fact. We need a name for our project.
Okay. You know, rein it back in. It's a high school math class.
Not sure. What do you think?
What do you think? Strange gap where my name is, but the name is still there. It always came down to me. Whenever there was something to be named or titled, I was the master and ending decision, even when I didn't want to be.
Trinity Corporations.
Trinity. I always liked the name Trinity because when I was little, I was really into the Matrix. My Neopets name was Trinity Potter 666 because I was a badass 8-year-old. Just so everyone knows.
That is way too predictable. How about the Dragon Company?
The Trinity Dragon. This is the only answer.
To do with our project?
Everything to do with our project. Our company builds stuff for dragons, maybe.
But it's a totally unpredictable name. It's hot.
But our company sells bubblegum.
Dragon-shaped bubblegum.
Who said we can't produce spicy bubblegum?
Spicy bubblegum sounds kind of good.
What do you think?
Yeah. What do you think?
What do I think? Both of them looked up at me expectantly, even though I wasn't quite sure myself. I didn't really want to choose sides, but if it were up to me, I would say... Dude, dragons. I'm sorry.
Dragon Company it is.
Booyah! I like her enthusiasm. That's what I'm into. Enthusiasm. People need enthusiasm.
Alright, now that we've decided on a name, now what?
I don't know, the next step. As we entered our name game, a giggle scrambled my thoughts. A giggle scrambled your thoughts. Get a hold of your brain. Huh? Who was that? It's Lisette.
Ignore it. It's just Lisette.
Oh, see? I told you. I know things. I looked over my shoulder to see her laughing with her circle of friends, mostly compromised of popular people that were practically friend with everyone in the school. Oh no, a popular girl is giggling. Something terrible is going to happen to me, I just know it. What will I do? And as a result, everyone in the school knew them. In the center of it all was Lisette White. She sat with a posture that indicated she was still working, but that she also was ready to casually chat about her day. She had an endearing balance of charismatic and awkward, which was readily apparent when she first talked to someone. It was easy to make her smile and laugh, and she was quite the comedian as well. She sounds like a nice person. Basically, she was perfect. Not that she was like a robot or something, but she was the student that everyone else wanted to be. Not a robot. Not a robot. Sure, it's gonna be like that really bad Stepford Wives remake. Lisette was bright, easygoing, and above all, had her future laid out right in front of her. Unlike the average student, she knew what she wanted to do after high school, and as a result, she was confident and ambitious, though sometimes it could rub a lot of people the wrong way. Moreover, I had known her ever since I was young, but it ultimately resulted in a rivalry that continued today. Who has rivals in high school outside of anime? I want to know where these people are that they have rivals. I want a rival. I didn't have rivals because I was too awesome. I was too great. Of course, my friends knew what was between us, and upon seeing me glance at her, they shifted their attention to her.
Doesn't even look like she's working, in my opinion.
That's a pretty serious opinion.
She probably is, but she's too much of a stuck-up priss to allow herself to look like she's actually doing work.
Because prissy people don't do math. Everyone knows that. Except for this bitch right here.
Oh, come on, Suzu. She may be a little off-putting, but she's not the giant priss that you're making her seem to be.
Says the other priss.
The day she isn't a priss is the day I turn into you.
Snap!
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, the gauntlet. The gauntlet has been thrown down.
Mind.
They're gonna fight. Can't fight.
It's about time. Let's bail.
Unsurprisingly, Susie was the first out of the classroom, slinging her backpack over her shoulder with ease as she quickly strolled out the door.
Seat isn't even closest to the exit, and she always manages to be the first one out of the door. I don't think I'll ever understand that.
She's quick. She's got reflexes. I wish I was as fast as her. I don't really care. I was never one of those people who rushed around. She gave me a smile as if relieved by the fact that I felt the same way as she did. I have to be on your side about something.
Why can't she just be normal like the two of us?
What's wrong with her? Oh my god, she just wanted to leave class. It's Suzu, Nomi. Think about it.
True.
Oh god.
Man, you guys are slow. Are you coming or what?
I don't know. You left me behind. I feel abandoned. I have a lot of problems.
We heard you the first time. Not everyone has rocket boosters attached to their legs when the bell rings.
Are you kidding me? That class was ridiculously boring. Even Miss Valedictorian here was dozing off a bit.
I do have to admit I was spacing out, and just because I answered one question doesn't mean I'm automatically the valedictorian.
Okay, so it wasn't too interesting. But you should at least pay attention when Phillips is talking about the important parts.
So you finally admit it. We're finally on the same wavelength. Welcome to the club, Patterson.
Oh no!
Please, don't call me by my last name. This isn't the classroom. And never in a million years will we ever see things eye to eye.
Despite this, they both burst out laughter. Normally, anyone would think that opposites like them wouldn't even associate with each other. But even though they were so different, their friendship somehow made a lot of sense. Oh my goodness. Maybe they were just perfect complements, or personality just didn't dictate the possibility of their friendship. After all, we three have been best friends since preschool.
Alright, so where are we heading to first? Cafeteria? I think we can all agree that we're really hungry, especially after hearing about our company's line of deliciously spicy bubblegum.
Spicy bubblegum does sound really good.
Who would even buy that? I wonder.
Me!
Me? I would pay good money to get a taste of it.
Seriously? I bet someone somewhere has made sriracha bubblegum. Someone send me sriracha bubblegum. Haha, you do like spicy food after all. Who doesn't? But monsters like, oh no, spicy food. Sriracha bubblegum sounds terrible. Ugh, I'm the worst. We entered the cafeteria, a bustling room filled with the aromas of different kinds of food. As we got in line, we ordered our meals and chatted freely.
Fries and the spicy chicken burger for me. That's my definition of a good meal.
That does sound okay. I mean, I don't eat chicken, but...
I'll take a tuna sandwich and some juice. You're probably going to need water or something to curb all that spicy flavor, Suzu.
Okay, I actually miss tuna fish, like, so bad. I used to really like tuna as a kid, and now I don't eat it.
Tamed by the likes of that. If it's spicy, then it's gotta be all or nothing.
All or nothing.
Crazy!
Do I get to pick my own lunch?
Crazy.
I think I'm getting a migraine.
I think I'll go with... Oh, I do. Mac and cheese and a soda. That... at least it's not meat. That sounds good. Once we got our food, we settled down at one of the empty tables, putting our backpacks aside to finally dig into the food. Susan leaned back in her chair, tilting it back so that she could rest her feet on the table by her food.
Alright then. Is there anything we want to talk about?
Stuff, things, our lives, our dreams. You know, the usual.
Bored already?
Yes.
I know. Let's talk about...
Say boys, and I will never speak to you ever again.
Why does it have to be boys?
Aw, why not?
Oh, she looks so sad.
What's so interesting about talking about guys? Not like any of us are gonna get boyfriends anytime soon.
Do you like girls? Is that what the problem is? I mean, like, as a girl who also likes girls, I feel like I can ask. Because your hair is really short. And your jacket in jeans. I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I'm just saying. I would love and support you no matter what your lifestyle choices are.
We don't know that. What if one of us does get a boyfriend?
What if, in this dating game, one of us got a boyfriend? Craziness!
Like that's going to happen, Naomi. Look at us. I'm a tiny Italian. You're a ditzy blonde.
She's barely blonde. And what's wrong with being tiny? Okay. I'm really short too, so I'm like a little bit offended. Like a little bit.
Hey!
No offense. And Anderson here. Well, I guess she could land a boyfriend or girlfriend if she wants.
Thank you. Thank you. I could. And it could be either or.
Or girlfriend?
Yes, support my lifestyle.
She can be a lesbian if she wants.
I can.
True.
Thank you. That's okay, Suzu. I'm not sure I want a boyfriend
Why
yet.
not? It's our senior year. Might as well get a boyfriend.
What does that have to do with being senior year? I dated guys starting in like 8th grade. Forgot high school.
Maybe she's just not interested in a relationship, Suzu.
People are so dramatic. Well, it wasn't really about wanting a relationship, but more that there was no one interesting enough to be in a relationship with. It's a boring-ass school you go to. Don't get me wrong. I'm an open person, but there were not many interesting guys in the school to go out with. Who knows? Time will tell. Naomi looked at me, wanting to continue the conversation. However, before she could speak, the speakers in the cafe started up. An announcement echoed through the cafeteria.
Miss Anderson, please come to the main office immediately. Please bring your things with you.
Oh, getting called to the
Oh
principal.
my.
Looks like our plans have been cut short. The men in white coats have finally come to get you.
You're coming to take me away, hee hee ha ha. The men in the clean white coats.
Suzu, don't joke around. What if it's serious?
Are my parents dead? Am I Batman?
Fine. If something happens, just call us.
I am Batman. Funny enough, something did happen. Da-na-na! Dramatic. And it was certainly no laughing matter. Oh, wait, I gotta put my serious face up. Serious now. Serious business. It's time. Cold. It was really cold. The rain became heavier that afternoon, accompanied by rolling thunder now and then. The skies had turned dark, though I couldn't see any of it under the black umbrella. Not that I was looking up. In fact, looking up was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. I stared at the grass beneath my feet, unable to look up at the people weeping around me. All I could see was the damp grass underneath my feet. Damn it, I knew somebody died. This is not okay, game. Only the monotone eulogies that floated through my ears reminded me that I was at a funeral. It was only when the speeches ended that I finally was able to raise my head. Harold Anderson. Is that my grandpa? A small gathering of people, mostly made of relatives that I didn't even know were related to me, were huddled around a simple, small grave. For a while, all I heard was the sound of raindrops on umbrellas. If it weren't raining, everything would probably be in a heavy silence. I looked beside me where my father was standing, and holding up a large black umbrella for our small family of 3. His face was emotionless, a strange sight next to my weeping mother. I wondered what was going through his mind. After all, etched into the smooth gray tombstone before us was his father's name. We actually just had my grandmother, not buried, buried's the wrong word. We had her funeral of sorts about 2 months ago. And it's interesting because my family doesn't do real funerals. People get cremated and then we toss them in the lake behind our family's house up in Maine, which I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to do, but it's actually way more pleasant than going to like a normal funeral service. We did like a wake for her, and that was like the worst thing. And the other part was a lot better because it's not as sad. Funerals are just depressing. And like, I don't know if dead people want everyone else to be depressed about it. I mean, if you're old, especially, I don't know. My grandfather, the one who raised me like his own daughter, had passed away that day. The ceremony was small. Only close family were allowed to come, except for all the family you didn't know, apparently. But that's fine. Slowly, though, people began to leave, leaving my father, mother, and me behind at the grave. A man dressed in a clean black suit under the uniform and black umbrella of the funeral attendees was walked toward us, introducing himself as grandfather's lawyer. Of course. What did I inherit? Something good. Something amazing and magical and life-changing. He pulled out a few documents from his suitcase and began to read aloud its contents.
Now, I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament.
This is how they do it right aside the grave, too. Yeah. It's a good lawyer. Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under the strict request of his lawyer, and there was a reason why.
And to my dearest granddaughter, I give my estate. All the furniture and decor that resides within the house shall also be given to my granddaughter.
Damn, thank you, Grandpa. What? I couldn't believe my ears. I had earned the family estate at 18. That was impossible, and yet it was written by my own grandfather's hand.
He passed the family estate to her? Why am I not surprised?
Thanks for your support and love, Dad.
Dear.
Well, did he say anything about what will become of the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company?
No. It is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed the position.
Even to the bitter end, he wouldn't give in. Oh, what a stubborn old man.
Dad, what the hell? Also, Mom, really? Not even black to funeral? I'm also not wearing black. Really? Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face.
About the estate. Should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school.
Okay, just get rid of me.
Are you sure we should?
Why not? This would be a good experience for her.
They just want to get rid of me, like, so quick. I'm feeling unloved.
Honey,
Unwanted.
what do you think?
I really wasn't sure what to say. Why did my grandfather think that I was the appropriate heir to the mansion? Was I even ready to live on my own?
Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little heiress needs some time to adjust.
Like it's my fault.
David!
Even though she raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began walking back to the car, disinterested.
Don't mind him, honey. I think that your grandfather's passing really affected him. Why don't we get back home for now?
Thanks, Mom. You can go on ahead to the car, Mom. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa.
Oh, of course. Take all the time you need.
She gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. I looked around the funeral grounds, which was completely empty, save for the sullen-looking grave that was laid in front of me. I'm sure that if Grandpa were in charge of arranging all this, it would have been much different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family the same day they pass away? That's not even possible. Okay. I mean, like, I get it. Your dad's a dick, but come on. Come on. Everyone knew my grandfather's love for toys, and yet the grave was a mere stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers. His disdain for my grandfather was almost pitiful. Sorry, Grandpa. I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out was a choked sob. You told me to stay strong. But right now, I'm the farthest from it. Like that one time a long time ago. Time for a flashback. Grandpa!
Oh, it's so good to see you again, sweetie.
I was swept into a giant bear hug, and we both laughed as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favorite things about seeing my grandfather, the way he greeted me. Unlike my father, my grandfather was loving and playful, even as I grew older. Sorry that Daddy couldn't be here today. He said that he wasn't feeling too good again. It had always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpa's house, citing that he was busy with work or wasn't feeling well.
Is that so? Well, that's okay. Daddy can come around next time. And you're here, right?
Yeah. So what are we gonna do today, Grandpa? Mommy says that there's a new dessert cafe open in town. Maybe we could go?
Oh, I would love to, but I've been so busy with the company these days. We're actually working on a little something. Would you like to see?
Yes. Oh, is it a toy?
It is. I was designing a new line of them, but I feel like something's missing. You don't think you could help me out, could you?
Of course. He placed the toy in my hands with a smile, and I inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted, and obviously a lot of work was put into it. There was one thing, though.
What do you think?
I think the heart on its chest should light up when you hug it. It'll be like it's alive, and it can be a little nightlight before you sleep. He stroked his chin, considering my input while nodding his head. After a few moments of silent deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle.
That's a great idea. I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my little lucky charm, dear. You always know what to add to make the perfect toy.
Well, I hope I can be like you one day, Grandpa.
You want to make toys as well?
Well, making people happy is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if I want to make toys when I grow up, though.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, You should do what makes you happy as well.
That makes sense. Daddy doesn't think of it in the same way, though.
Your father. I'm sure he just wants the best for you.
Your father. My dad's a dick. This is like my real life. My real parents are terrible. I'm not so sure about that.
Sweetie, look at me.
He bent down and looked at me eye level, with a serious look on his face.
As much as your father may say something that doesn't make sense now, you must remember that he's always thinking about you. He loves you. There's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally.
I don't hate Daddy. I really do love him. I don't know why he's like this, though.
Your father and I have had some difficulties with each other in the past. But it's nothing that you should be concerned about.
I had heard tidbits of this from my mother and various other people. The only people who had stayed quiet were my father and grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter, but it was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them. It's hard, though, trying to pretend as if nothing were wrong.
However, no matter what, you have to stay strong. You're a big girl already, and, well, there'll come a day when it seems like it's you against the world. But always remember that your family and friends will be here with you. Daddy, Mommy, your friends at school, me. We'll stand together to get through it.
How can you be so sure of that?
Because we'll be right here and here.
He pointed his finger to my head first and then pointed at my
Stay
chest.
strong. Promise?
For a moment he looked almost sad, pleading, but as quickly as it had come the expression disappeared from his face and he was all smiles once again. Promise. Upon hearing that, Grandpa let out a great burst of laughter and stood up.
All right then. Enough of that. How about I whip up some special homemade dessert? I know I can't accompany you at that new cafe, but we sure can talk and eat while I cook and do some paperwork.
Homemade dessert, I'll race you to the kitchen.
Hey, slow down there. I'm not what I used to be.
Ha 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 ha. You willed me the very home I love to see you in. Why? Why would you think I would be ready to take it, especially after this? A surge of anger bubbled within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use in getting mad, especially when the person in question was no longer there. I'm sorry, it's hard to stay calm when you've left me with so many questions, especially what would happen between you and Dad. What am I doing, talking to a grave? My vision blurred and I suddenly realized that I was crying. My face heated up as tears rolled down my cheeks. I'll bring you some flowers later. I miss you, Grandpa. I'll try my best to fulfill my promise I gave to you, even if the world might be turned against me. I left the grave, wiping my tears so my parents wouldn't see.
Well, it's time to head back home. I'll cook up your favorite lasagna when we get home, okay?
Thanks, Mom. However, my dad didn't speak the entire drive home. I wanted to talk to him, but after his moment at the funeral, I wasn't sure if it was a good idea.
It's about time we took off those dreary black clothes.
Gathering my courage, I decided then it was time to talk. Dad, could I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Why do you want me to move into the estate so soon?
I thought I made that rather clear. The college near your grandfather's house is well known for its business program. You are planning to major in business, yes? Right after you graduate from high school, you'll just live there and can easily commute to and from school. It's a perfect fit for you.
But it's so sudden. You just decided so quickly right after the funeral.
Don't be so sensitive. If you're like that in the real world, you'll be crushed.
I'm just saying that maybe we could talk a bit more about my future. In reply, my father rubbed his temples and sighed quietly.
After you graduate from college, you'll work at Anderson Family Toys. I have connections since I am part of the board of directors, so you will be guaranteed a spot. That is what we talked about before, yes?
But what if...
Stop mumbling.
What if I don't want to work there?
Don't be silly. It's the family company. Our company. I'm not just going to hand it over to some incompetent vice chairman.
He came closer to me and his face softened.
Look, this is all for the best, okay? You may not know it right now, but you will appreciate it later.
Okay, sure thing, Dad. For some reason, when I heard him say that, something snapped in me. I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but it made me feel so angry. Do you even care that grandfather passed away?
Of course I do.
Well, everything seems fine and dandy to you. Things couldn't be better.
Excuse me? I don't like your tone, young lady.
It's like nothing even happened at all. Like you just ignore the fact that he's no longer here.
Do not raise your voice at me.
What did he ever do to you to deserve this? My father, his face hardened, crossed his arms and erupted in angry laughter.
You sure place him upon a pedestal, like he's some kind of venerated god or something. It makes me sick.
Oh my god. Is that it? Are you happy seeing grandfather dead? While everyone was grieving, you were just holding yourself back from laughing in everyone's faces? Did you feel just a bit happier seeing him lie in the graveyard? A flash of rage crossed his face, and he whipped the back of his hand across my cheek.
You don't know anything! Running your mouth like somehow you know everything that went on, when you're just a little girl that doesn't know how to keep her mouth shut!
God damn. This is the second game I played in, this month where somebody hauls off and hits their kid, or stepkid.
You did not know my father! You did not know what he was capable of!
Dark family secrets.
Is everything all right? What happened?
Oh, your husband's kind of crazy. Nothing. I'm not hungry. I think I'll just go upstairs.
Honey, wait!
Dad doesn't even love me. I quickly turned and ran up the stairs to my room, slamming the door behind me. My breath came in short pants, and for a while I just leaned against the door to my bedroom, eventually sliding down to sit against it. How did things become like this? My cheeks still throbbed, and I tentatively stood up and looked at the mirror to see how it looked. Hopefully it doesn't bruise. Ha, what am I saying? Tears formed in the corner of my eyes, but I blinked them back rapidly. I couldn't cry for the second time today. I had to be stronger than that.
All right. Your father told me nothing happened, but you know your father.
He's a crazy asshole, so yes. I'm fine. I just lost my appetite.
The lasagna's done, though. And I don't want you skipping any meals. Are you sure?
Yes, Mom. Yeah, don't worry about me, Mom. I'll come downstairs later to eat. You're not telling me the whole story. No, because Dad's crazy and terrible. I just don't want to eat right now.
Please, dear. Tell me what's going on. I wish you would tell me why you're being like this.
What? This is not even my fault. I wanted to tell her. A part of me was screaming to tell her what Dad had done. At the same time, I knew she couldn't fix anything. Besides, I was moving out regardless. I remained silent, letting the event remain in the past.
Well, I'll leave your food on the table if you want to eat it later.
Finally, my mom left me alone. It was strange to think that she was only a few inches away from me, only separated by a single wooden door. I really didn't know what to do. I needed to do something, anything, to get my mind off what just happened. Anything would be better than thinking any more about the pain still radiating from my cheek. I was going to move into my grandfather's house tomorrow. I should probably pack my stuff so I would be prepared. Yeah, that was a good idea. I should start packing. I opened the closet, rummaging around for a while before I finally pulled out 2 large bags. Pulling them out onto the floor of my room, I then began to empty my drawers and cabinets so that I could bring all of my things with me. I didn't have much to bring other than just clothes and some toiletries. It was kind of bizarre that I didn't have many personal belongings. It wasn't like my luggage was completely devoid of them, but I certainly didn't have many things in my room that I would miss if I just suddenly left the house. I shook my head to rid myself of those thoughts. If it were going to be my new home, I would have to feel like it, one way or another. I was going to make it a home. Oh my god. Just as I was packing my things, my cell phone began ringing and vibrating. I slid my phone out of my pocket and answered it while slowly easing myself onto my bed. Who could possibly be calling?
Hey, Anderson, you there?
Is everything alright? We were worried about you, so we decided to call.
Nothing's alright. My life is over.
Hello?
I'm really glad you guys called. My voice managed to come out, though it was only a whisper.
What happened? Are you okay?
Well, I slowly began to tell them about the funeral that afternoon. A small silence followed when I was done recounting what happened, and to my relief, Naomi finally spoke up.
I can't begin to imagine how you must be feeling right now. I'm so sorry. Do you want us to come over right now?
No, it's okay. My dad is in a good mood. So we could just keep talking on the phone like this?
Of course! We'd stay on the phone until the crack of dawn. Right, Suzu?
Yeah. we're always here if you need us. After all, we wouldn't be the awesome triple threat trio without you, right?
I thought we were the Three Musketeers. What are we? What's going on? Yeah.
Triple threat trio? That sounds like the name of a gang.
Girl gang. I want to be in a girl gang.
Yeah, I mean,
Matching
we're all taking
jackets.
on the world together. We've got to sound somewhat scary, or else no one's going to take us seriously.
That's true.
What's with you and naming things?
You gotta be badass.
You've got to step up your game, Naomi. Falling behind to the cool kids like Anderson and me.
Tisk tisk.
Hey! I'm a cool kid! If anything, I'd say you have to step up your game!
Oh snap. Girl fight, girl fight. We chatted cheerfully about all sorts of things. Very soon I'd forgotten about the events that day. I was engaged in a conversation about Naomi's favorite TV show, some program called Herlock. Really? Herlock? Okay. I know what they're talking about. We all agreed that the actor playing the titular character suddenly had a very distinct look, with the long overcoat and scarf wrapped around his neck. Okay, so I don't actually watch Sherlock because I don't have a real TV, and I only watch, like, YouTube and things that are on Netflix and Crunchyroll, so I'm, like, really behind on stuff, but I know what they're talking about. And distinctive does not even begin to cover it. Like, oh god, what is his name? It's like Bernadette Cucumber Butt, something like that. That guy. You know who I'm talking about. Face. We had many disagreements on who we thought was the coolest character. Yeah, he really has high cheekbones, and his eyes are pretty, though I do have to say I prefer Jatson. And as a bonus, his actor is just so sassy. Jatson. Watson? Is it Watson? Are we talking about Watson? I looked at the clock hanging on the wall and realized how late it was. Whoa, it's already 1? Sorry for keeping you guys up so late. I think I'm gonna hit the hay for tonight. See you guys at school tomorrow. Talking about Sherlock makes me forget about my dad beating me. Oh, it's like Tumblr. I should probably shower and go to bed. I can't believe I stayed up this late just to talk to my friends. But it was really nice. Well, to the bathroom I go. I took a long, relaxing shower. Nothing beat hot water and the feeling of being clean. After drying myself, I promptly dressed in my pajamas and crawled into bed. Ah, a nice hot shower after a long day. I'm so glad to be finally in bed. It had been a really long day. I knew that I was wishing for something to change back in class, but I certainly wasn't expecting any of the things that happened today. And I have to go back to school tomorrow. Ugh. I curled up on my side and tightly wrapped the blankets around me. I really wasn't in the mood to be returning to school, but my dad probably would make me go just for the sake of it. It's time to go to sleep. Reached out and lamp on my nightstand to turn off the lights. However, my mind was still lost in the passing of my grandfather and the thought of inheriting something so big that it haunted my mind the entire night up until the next morning. And here, I think, is where I'm going to call it for this video. I think I'm going to keep playing the game if I make more videos. That's still kind of up in the air, but I'm thinking about it. So if you think I should, let me know. I will stream and post them. I'm going to be putting everything up in order, so the whole visual novel will hopefully be like all together in one big playlist. Yeah, if you like it, hit like, hit subscribe, follow, comment, let me know, shoot me a message. I downloaded this on Steam mostly because it was free and I wanted to see how playing one of these sorts of games would go for this sort of a channel, and I'm having fun. I like doing the voice acting. I know I could be cheesier, but I'm trying to really get into the character's head. I hope you guys are enjoying it, and hopefully there's some sexy action coming up real soon. So, yeah. Bye-bye!